Think you're in control of your life? Think again. Every choice you make is someone else pulling the strings. Fear, doubt, society, they're deciding more for you than you realize. But what if I told you that in the next few minutes, you could learn how to break every chain, reclaim your power, and take full control of every single decision you make? Stick with me, because everything you believe about freedom and success is about to be shattered. Every choice you make shapes the life you live. But how often do we stop and ask ourselves whether that choice is really ours? Most people wake up, follow routines, make decisions, and never pause to think, am I doing this because I want to or because I was taught to? Because society told me to? Because everyone else does it? From the moment we are born, we are being molded. Our parents, our teachers, our friends, the media, all feeding us ideas about what we should want, how we should act, who we should be. And because it's constant, because it's everywhere, we accept it as normal. We assume that the choices we make are free, but in reality, they are guided by invisible hands that shape our thoughts long before we even realize it. Think about the way you spend your day. How many of your decisions are driven by habit? You wake up, grab your phone, scroll through social media, check notifications, maybe respond to messages, sip that coffee, follow the same route to work or school. You call it your choice, but it's more like a programmed sequence of reactions, patterns you've built over time that feel natural, but are anything but conscious. We rarely question these patterns because questioning them takes energy. It takes awareness. It takes a willingness to confront the truth that most of us are not fully in control of our lives. Then there's fear. Fear controls more decisions than any rational thought ever could. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of looking different, fear of losing friends, fear of being rejected. It dictates countless choices, quietly, invisibly, and yet powerfully. You might think you are choosing to stay in a job, stay in a relationship, or avoid a risky opportunity because it's practical or safe, but in truth, fear is guiding you. It's the puppet master behind the curtain, and most people are blind to it. They think they are making logical, deliberate choices, but they are actually reacting to fear. Can every story they have been told about what life should be? And society? Society is the ultimate manipulator. From childhood, you are trained to fit into boxes, to adopt a script written by millions of invisible editors over decades. You go to school and are told to follow instructions, memorize, obey authority, and prepare for a life someone else has designed. You are told what success looks like, what happiness should feel like, what you are supposed to strive for. You are told what to desire, how to behave, even how to think. And the worst part, you start believing it. You start thinking these are your decisions when really they are borrowed from a culture, a system, and a society that benefits when you conform. Here's the kicker. This is not weakness. This is not shame. It's awareness. Every human is susceptible to influence. Every human is shaped by environment, upbringing, and experience. What separates the extraordinary from the average is the moment they recognize this manipulation and take responsibility. They realize, I've been programmed, I've been conditioned, but I don't have to be a slave to it. That realization is the first step to real freedom. To take control of your decisions, you have to question everything, your habits, your fears, your desires, your assumptions. You have to dissect why you want what you want, why you do what you do, and whether it aligns with the life you truly want to live. And this is not easy because most people don't want to think that deeply. They prefer comfort. They prefer routine. They prefer not to challenge their own assumptions. It's easier to follow the current than to swim against it. Easier to accept the normal path than to blaze your own. But make no mistake, the path of comfort is the path of control by others. The moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop examining your choices, the moment you stop understanding your own motives, you become a passenger in your own life, drifting wherever external forces push you. So are your decisions yours or are they someone else's? Every choice is a test of ownership. Every small action, what you eat, how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, the thoughts you entertain is either you taking command of your life or handing the reins to someone else. Freedom isn't given. It isn't automatic. It's earned through awareness, through reflection, through the relentless pursuit of understanding why you do what you do and whether it truly serves you. Every choice matters. Every decision counts. And when you take control of even the smallest things, you start to reclaim the life that is rightfully yours. People love to say, follow your heart or trust your instincts, as if those two phrases are the ultimate keys to living a great life. But here's the truth. Most people won't admit your heart can lie to you and your instincts can be manipulated. Every emotion you feel, every gut reaction, I just know this is right moment is influenced by fear, doubt, habit, and the expectations of the world around you. Your instincts are not magic. They are a product of your past, your experiences, and the endless flood of information you consume every single day. They are shaped by your successes, yes, but also by your failures, by every time you were told no, every time you were judged, and every time someone else's opinion pushed you into submission. And your heart, well, it's even more complicated. It craves comfort. It craves approval. It craves safety. It wants what is familiar, not what is necessary for greatness. Think about the times you've followed your heart and ended up stuck, lost, or frustrated. Your heart whispered one thing, but it was really fear disguised as intuition. Maybe it was fear of missing out, fear of being alone, fear of failure. Fear hides in the shadows of your desires, pretending to be wisdom. And society is the magician behind the curtain, making you think your instincts are free, that your heart is pure, that you are choosing for yourself. But from the moment you were born, society has been feeding you signals about who you are supposed to be, what you are supposed to want, and how you are supposed to act. It tells you what success looks like, what love should feel like, what happiness is. You absorb these signals and they twist your instincts, corrupt your heart, and guide your choices without you even realizing it. Your instincts are nothing without control. They are just raw energy, unrefined and tested. Most people act on them without thought, without discipline, and they wonder why life doesn't work out. They follow the first spark of emotion and call it destiny, ignoring the fact that instincts alone are blind. They need intelligence, strategy, and awareness to transform them into real power. Acting purely on instinct without examining the forces that shaped it is like driving a car with your eyes closed. You're moving sure, but you have no idea where you're going. And acting purely on the heart without training it, without questioning it, without understanding its shadows is even worse. The heart will betray you more often than you think. It will settle for a panic. It will conform. It will whisper lies to keep you safe while you stay small, mediocre, and predictable. Fear and doubt are the silent assassins of decisions. They hide in your subconscious and manipulate your instincts to serve them. Every time you hesitate, every time you procrastinate, every time you convince yourself, I'm just not ready, That is fear and doubt speaking through the voice of your heart and instincts. They wear a mask of logic, of caution, of reason, and most people never notice. They assume they are acting rationally when, in fact, they are trapped in a web spun by their own uncertainty and society's influence. Breaking free from this trap is what separates the men and women who achieve extraordinary things from those who drift through life hoping for luck. The rare few who succeed are the ones who master themselves. They understand that instincts are tools, not masters. They know that the heart can be a guide, but it must be trained, disciplined, and questioned. They scrutinize every emotion, every impulse, every desire, asking, is this really mine? Is this truly what I want? Or is this the world telling me what to want? They understand that fear is not the enemy. It is a signal, a challenge to be faced, to be transformed into fuel for action. And they realize that society is never neutral. It always wants something from you, always wants to bend your choices to its benefit. To resist it, to act deliberately, to make every decision with clarity and purpose is to reclaim control that most people will never even recognize they lost. So the next time you hear yourself saying, I just know this is right, stop and analyze it, examine the roots of that feeling, question it. Test it against reason, against strategy, against your long-term vision. Don't blindly follow your instincts and don't blindly follow your heart. They are powerful allies, but they are not the captain of your ship. You are. You must be the one steering, the one questioning, the one aware of the invisible forces around you. And when you finally master that, when you finally learn to harness instinct and heart without letting them control you, you unlock a level of freedom, power, and precision in your life that the vast majority will never know. Freedom is not just about doing whatever you want. Too many people think freedom is the ability to act without restriction, to chase pleasure, or to live without rules. That is not freedom. That is chaos disguised as liberty. True freedom comes from understanding the forces that push and pull at you every single day and then consciously choosing how to respond to them. Every decision you make is influenced by countless external factors, societal expectations, peer pressure, cultural norms, economic pressures, even the opinions of people you barely know. And most of the time, these forces operate invisibly. You don't see them, yet they steer your life in ways you assume are your own doing. To be truly free, to take real control of your destiny, you must first recognize these influences, name them, and then act deliberately in spite of them. Take a moment and think about how often your choices are reactions rather than conscious decisions. How often do you buy something because it's trending or follow someone else's advice because you assume they know better, or make a move in life because society has conditioned you to believe it's the right path? That is not freedom. That is compliance. The problem is compliance is comfortable. It feels safe. Most people would rather drift along with the current than confront the discomfort of independent thought. But drifting is not living. Drifting is allowing external forces to dictate the shape of your life while pretending it's all your own doing. The people who achieve greatness, the ones who break boundaries, the ones who leave a mark on the world, do not drift. They face reality head on. They examine the invisible strings that control others and deliberately cut them. Taking ownership of your decisions means something profound. It means no excuses, no blaming, no waiting for permission. It means looking at your circumstances, your failures, your limitations, and saying, this is mine. I accept it. I take responsibility for it. Most people avoid this responsibility because it's terrifying. Owning your life means recognizing that every failure, every setback, every disappointment is not someone else's fault. It is yours. And that is power, not punishment, because when you truly own your life, you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You become the architect of your own destiny. You stop reacting to life and start shaping it. This level of control is rare because it requires brutal honesty with yourself. You must dissect your motives, your habits, your emotion, your decisions. You must be willing to see the lies you've been telling yourself for years, the excuses, the justifications, the self-deceptions that made life easier but weaker. It is painful, exhausting work, but it is the only path to true autonomy. Every choice becomes a test of your awareness. Every decision is an opportunity to assert that you are the master of your own fate, that you will not allow invisible forces to manipulate you into mediocrity. And here's the secret: most people will never realize the more control you take over your decisions, the more freedom you experience. The two are inseparable. If you let fear, society, habit, or opinion dictate your actions, you are not free. You may feel free on the surface, but beneath you are chained, constrained, manipulated, and limited. Real freedom comes from clarity about what you want, clarity about the forces at play, clarity about how to act with intention. When you act with clarity and ownership, you become unstoppable. You can navigate obstacles, seize opportunities, and pursue your goals without hesitation or doubt, because every action is deliberate, every choice is yours, and every outcome is a reflection of your conscious effort. Taking ownership also means embracing risk. It means understanding that decisions have consequences, both good and bad, and accepting them fully. Most people avoid taking risks because they fear failure or judgment. But freedom without responsibility, action, and risk is meaningless. You cannot truly control your life if you are afraid to make decisions that could lead to failure, embarrassment, or loss. Mastering control over your choices requires courage, the courage to act, the courage to own the results, and the courage to rise every time you stumble. So ask yourself, are you letting life happen to you, or are you taking the reins? Are you a passenger, drifting with external forces, or are you the driver, consciously steering toward your goals with precision and awareness? Every decision matters. Every choice shapes the course of your life. And the moment you start taking deliberate ownership of your decisions, you reclaim the most precious power a human being can ever possess, the power to live life on your own terms, free from the invisible chains that hold most people captive, free to create the reality you truly want, free to become unstoppable. Now listen closely, because this is where most people fail. They reach the end of a speech, a video, a motivational quote, and they nod, they clap, they feel inspired for 5 minutes, and then life goes back to the same old patterns. That's not going to happen to you. You are not most people. You are here because you are ready to take control, to own your life, to stop making excuses, to stop blaming the world for your situation. And here's the truth. Nobody will tell you. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you success. No one is going to hand you the life of your dreams on a silver platter. It is yours to take, but you have to fight for it, think for it, act for it. Ask yourself right now, are you living life on autopilot, letting fear, habit, and society dictate your choices? Or are you consciously deciding who you are, what you want, and how you're going to get it? If you are honest with yourself, you will admit that most of your decisions so far have been reactions, not actions. But the beauty of life is that it doesn't matter where you've been. It matters where you go from here. And that power, that ability to change everything lies in your hands. Every single day, every single moment, you are making decisions, small ones, big ones, tiny ones that seem insignificant, and huge ones that feel like they define you. Each one matters. Each one is a chance to step up and prove that you are in control. You want freedom. Then start making decisions like a master, not a slave. You want respect. Then take ownership of your failures before anyone else can judge you. You want power. Then stop letting your instincts, your heart, and your fear run the show. Train them, master them, and make them your tools, not your masters. Every decision you make is a brick in the foundation of your life. Are you building a castle, or are you letting someone else's design dictate your structure? And let me tell you something about fear. Fear is going to be there. Fear will always whisper, you can't do it. You'll fail. Stay safe. Stay small. But you know what separates winners from losers? Winners feel fear, acknowledge it, and then do it anyway. Winners don't wait for fear to disappear. They move forward with fear as their fuel. You want to be unstoppable. Use fear as a compass, not a chain. If fear is pointing at something, that's usually exactly where you need to go. Most people turn the other way. They play it safe, they conform, and they wonder why their lives feel empty. You, on the other hand, will take that fear, stare it in the face, and let it push you to greatness. Understand this freedom, control, power. They are not given. They are claimed, and claiming them requires action, awareness, and responsibility. You cannot half-step through life and expect to win. You cannot wait for perfect conditions or for someone to validate your choices. You have to decide now in this moment that your life is yours, every single part of it. The mistakes, the setbacks, the failures, they are not chains. They are lessons, training grounds, fire to temper your resolve. The victories, the wins, the successes, they are the proof that control is not a dream. It is a reality when you take ownership. Ask yourself again, who is steering your life? Is it you or is it the world, your fears, your habits, your doubts? If it's not you, it's time to grab the wheel. It's time to look fear, doubt, and society straight in the eye and say, I decide, I control. I will not be moved by anything outside me. Because here's the final truth. The only person who can truly hold your power, who can truly determine your destiny is you. No one else, not your boss, not your friends, not your family, not society. You, your life is the product of every choice you make, every decision you take responsibility for, every action you commit to without hesitation. So go ahead, wake up, question everything, strip away every illusion, and take control. Own your instincts, train your heart, master your mind, and act with purpose. Fear will come, doubt will come. Society will try to pull you back. But none of that matters if you remember one thing: your decisions are your power. Your choices are your freedom. Your actions are your destiny. Take them seriously, take them boldly, take them consciously, and watch as the life you once only dreamed of becomes the life you are now creating. Stand up, make your move, control your decisions, control your life, and never, ever let anyone or anything take that control from you.